Let's talk about it. Domestic abuse, domestic violence, all those same things. They all one and the same. Let's talk about it for men. Serious subject. For men, I'm going to tell you that when you're with a woman and you feel provoked to where you want to raise your hands at a woman, that's the relationship that you need to exit out of. Right off the rip. If you feel provoked in any capacity, where you have these situations where you're dealing with the woman and there's some jostling back and forth, some arguing back and forth, and all of a sudden you start to feel this rage build up inside of you to where you want to put your hands on a woman, that's the relationship you shouldn't be in. Now, I don't know whether or not, because being provoked is subjective. You know, some people can look at things and it really is not being that they're being provoked, but it's just the fact they're interpreting as that they're being led on or pushed to become a certain way. So if you know that you're being provoked, so the woman is attacking your character, they're attacking your being as a man, they're saying very derogative things towards you, they're insulting you, your appearance, whatever it may be, those types of things, that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying if you're hearing those things and you're starting to feel where your pressure's starting to rise and you want to resort to putting your hands on somebody, that's the relationship that you shouldn't be in. Now, if you're a man who's in a relationship and you've had things in the past that have occurred where you have some anger issues, and maybe you may not know what anger issues that you think that you may have some anger issues, but if you are easily angered by any situation, then you probably got some kind of anger issues. Whatever situation it is that you get angry about, whether you're sitting in traffic and you get into a heightened state to where you want to commit this road rage attack, or you want to, respond to the next driver, then you probably got some anger issues. If you're at work and there's a coworker saying certain things and you're feeling like you're becoming a little angry, you feel like you want to throw some things or you want to push some things, or you start to have this, response where your body starts feeling uncomfortable, you probably got some anger issues. If you're around your children and your children are crying and whining and saying certain things and you want to put your hands on your children, you probably got some anger issues. If you're a man like that and you're starting to feel those different types of things within yourself outside of a relationship, then you don't need to be in a relationship until you start dealing with those anger issues. And whatever that is, whether you've got to go to some type of therapy, you've got to go to a church where you can speak to a reverend, whether you got some other family members or friends that you can sit down and talk to, you got to work on that before you get in any type of relationship. Because what's going to happen is you get into a relationship, now it magnifies, and now you start responding to that person that you're in a relationship with. And unfortunately, I don't care any way you want to slice it, men are much more powerful than women. I don't care any way you slice it. Physically, men are more powerful than women are. There are exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, men are much more dominant. And when you're that much more dominant, that is where you're supposed to pay attention to the power that you harness. That's where you're supposed to be You're supposed to have discernment on how you respond. Because it's total destruction when you unleash that power to someone who is unable to fight back. Total destruction, total devastation, total trauma. It's not a game at all. You absolutely need to be extremely mindful when you're a man and you have some kind of anger issues, that you do not bring that around into a relationship. And you sure as heck don't sit up there and do that as it relates to your child or any children. You for sure don't do that when you're around any children. And if you have a child and you understand that you have some anger issues, oh, you better be getting on top of that. You absolutely better be getting on top of that. No child deserves to go through any of what it is that you have unresolved issues with inside yourself. And this goes for men who don't have children yet, and this goes for men who have children. Domestic violence, any type of physical abuse, no one has been put on this planet to endure the wrath of your anger. No one has been put on this planet to do that or to deal with that. And no one that you claim to love should have to go through that at all. So for the men, if I'm speaking to you and you happen to be one of these folks who have some issues with anger, then I encourage you, a strong encouragement, to go get some help, to go talk to someone, to stay away from your relationship that you're in, to stay away from your kids that you have. Yes, that's how important it is. Oh, I know. I've lost someone very close to me. That's a whole nother story. But I implore you, get your act together, get your anger together. No one needs to go through that, ever. Peace out.